the size of the crowd tonight, and also can you, compared to the first rally in February, right, can you give a sense of how the tone of the speeches were different this time compared to last time? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. I think all of us agree that the crowd size is larger than the February one, but it's not massively large. Right, probably about 5 to 6,000. Previously was about 4 to 5,000. So I'll take it as 5 to 6,000. Right, from what I assess as I walk through the crowd, there's about another 1,000 that comes here and there. Right, they come and they go. So there's about 1,000. So officially, as organizers, we gauge the crowd between 5 to 6,000. Well, the mood, I think, is people's power. I think we feel the power, the roar of the people. Right, a lot of the speakers here are ordinary people. Right, we only have G-Say, who is a politician, but the rest of us are very ordinary. I think they have a voice to speak. We have 2 retirees, we have a single mom, we have a mom who is staying at home, we have a taxi driver who is a graduate. So I think they represent a very cross-section of the people that are living and suffering under the conditions here. Yeah. Maybe you want to address the question to the speakers here. Yeah, please.
Yes, anyone can. My name is Mr. Ace from American International News. I'm a Singaporean, by the way. My question to you, to you, Gilbert, and also the rest. When is your next? When do you think you will be your next this kind of event? Yeah, because this is my first time here, so I will say that. But I'm impressed.
Yeah, thank you. I think very sure that we will do annually a Labour Day protest right here in Hong Lim Park. We want to do it from the ground up, right? But if you ask about another protest, right, before next year May Day, I can't tell you, really. Yeah. Maybe one of you want to answer the question? What about National Day?
I think it's meaningful. We do National Day our way.
Function day were organized. It takes about a month or 2, to organize. Right. So let me assure you, there are at least 50 volunteers here helping us. Maybe you should give the hand to our volunteers. So I forgot about that. An event of such a size needs a lot of preparation. But 50 volunteers, I think the minimum that we have to have before we can actually organize such an event. I think we have spoken to 30, 40 speakers before we actually selected 11 fantastic speakers here. Don't you think they are good, Singapore? Yeah. Yeah, let's give them a hand. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, ma'am, please.
Sir, I've got one question. What? All of them. All of them. I'm a Singaporean, pink IC. I just want to...
Are you from the press?
No.
Maybe, ma'am, what can happen is maybe the first few questions we can pass to the press first. Then after that, I think we will want to allow the ordinary Singaporeans to ask a question. I think it's good. But the first few questions, we probably give it to the press first. Yeah, I'm sorry, ma'am. Right, it's good. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Dr. Henson. I'm a blogger. I hope that qualifies.
Oh, yeah, certainly. I love your blog.
Oh, thank you.
I read your blog regularly. Dr. Henson.
I just wanted to ask mainly of Mr. Tan Ji-se and Mr. Ravi, why does it sound like why do your speeches sound like it's more like a political rally than a protest about the workers?
I think I didn't, not that I'm making excuses not to be so political actually. I think Mr. Tan Ji-se was more political, but we respect diversity of views. That's the strength. And I think everything in Singapore is political already. Including organization of Straits Times, including organization of NTUC, including organizations of media. So what is not political in Singapore?
actually, there is one non-political. I'm a non-political politician. Because of the presidential election rules, I cannot belong to any political party. So I am not a political party politician. I'm a non-political politician, if there is such a term. But I'm a Singaporean. Frankly, the speech, yes, it's about policy, more policy, criticism of policy, and what we need to do to change it. Well, it has political undertones because it is a political government. You can only change government through politics. You cannot change government by just saying ha ha and hoo ha here and there. You have to do it the political way.
Thank you. I hope that answers your questions. Yeah. One more question from the press. Yeah, Zhao Bao.
Hello, hi, my name is Yuan from Taobao. I remember just now a lady mentioned that she is not very comfortable with language policy, and she mentioned that her grandmother speaks Cantonese. And could you elaborate this further, and why do you raise this issue at this occasion? Thank you.
My main point was the government does not always know best. So same to the 6.9 million. Yeah. So why do I say that? I use the Speak Mandarin campaign as well as the casino, allowing the casinos to operate as two examples. The Speak Mandarin campaign, I was intimately involved in the launch of the campaign because I was with ST then. My department was community projects, and we went around house to house to encourage families to speak Mandarin and give them a set of Encyclopedia Britannica to 5 families. My point is this: when I grew up speaking Cantonese, it did not affect my learning of Mandarin, Chinese. In fact, it helped me greatly to love the Chinese culture, as I could recite poems in Cantonese, and later on in school, when I found that, what I say in Cantonese can be said in Mandarin, can be written out, I was so elated. So I was so interested. So when you kill dialects to promote Mandarin, you are killing all children's interest in learning Chinese. Look at our children now, just studying it as an exam topic, and after they finish their A-levels, no need that grade to go into university, kaput. And the second impact of the Speak Mandarin campaign, which is very, very sad, the government has killed off whole generations of contact between the grandchildren and the grandparents. I contrasted my example, my love and interaction with my granny, to how my poor children interacted with their grandma. They only know how to say a few phrases in Cantonese, like, have you eaten? How are you, grandma? I am fine, if grandma asks them, how are you? And that's it. And worse still, they speak in such accented Cantonese. I call it Kelingwa Cantonese, no? Lei ho ma ang yen, like that, instead of lei ho ma ang yen. That's the sorrow, deep sorrow I have about the Speak Mandarin campaign. Then, the casinos, what do they mean? They mean that it's okay to let our neighbors die. Let them lose their pens, become bankrupt. But our people, so to speak, are protected by that magical $100. Hachu, those who really want to go, right? What's $100? So, when you beggar your neighbor instead of love your neighbor as you are told to do, what message are you giving to the whole population? And every day when you open the Straits Times, I don't know about Taobao, sorry, okay, I do not follow Taobao. You see economic statistics, figures. How many more percent growth? Oh, this agency say 0.5% more. The agency say 2% up or down. Alamak, it's like the father telling the kids every morning, hey, today you better bring back $5. You make $20 for me today, okay? If you don't bring back $100 by the end of the month for my pocket money, you're not a good son. You get a message. But is that so? We are good children because we love our parents. We are good Singaporeans because we love our country. We don't litter, not because of the fine. We drive safely because we take care of others' lives and our own lives. So we do everything out of good motives, not because we want the extra dollar, the extra subsidy payout from what HDB subsidy and whatever not. Every time they throw this money carrot, it demeans our national character. To link money to everything, it demeans us.
Well done. One more from the press. Anyone from the press? Oh, ayo.
Just out of curiosity,
Okay,
because
last-
everyone is wearing a black T-shirt, but except for Mr. M. Ravi, is there any reason why?
He needs XXXL, which I don't have.
Because I've come here to give the yellow card to the government.
Yeah, if there's no more question from the press, is there one more? I'll pass this down to the public. Is it okay? Can I pass this down to the public? Yeah, maybe, can we get a question from you, miss? Yeah, I'm sorry about just now.
I apologize also.
Yeah, no
I
worries.
didn't know. So sorry. So sorry, sir. So sorry.
It's
everybody.
alright, no
I
worries.
just have one question. What gives the PAP or the government so much confidence? They are so bold, you know, with their going forward, despite the voice that I think it has reached their ears, but they are only giving lame replies to us. They are just playing up. What gives them the confidence? It seems that what they do now gives them the confidence before 2016 even come. So we have to tackle this one first. This is what I feel.
Yeah, thanks, ma'am. Maybe Kwan, you want to help with that?
I think what is, well, actually your question is a little bit out of our topic today. I would like very much to keep today's discussion to the 6.9 million population white paper. But on the similar note, this government rushed through the population white paper just after a few days of debate in Parliament. They did not. The normal parliamentary process is to give a green paper, open for discussion and alteration and views before you finalize it into a white paper. But no, this government came out of the white paper, have 2-3 days debate in Parliament and just pass it. So the same question that you asked, what gave them the confidence to do that? Which brings me to the next point. All right, I hate to be political, sorry Bertha Hansen, but I have to be political. How many seats does the PAP needs to govern Singapore? 50 seats is enough. But they want everything. So, does that answer your question?
Thank you, Kwan. Yeah. There's a question from this press.
Hi, Sean from the Asian Observer. Question for the entire panel. We basically came out here on the premise that we wanted to say no to the white paper. But none of you actually touched on this topic, and I want you guys to answer from what you know, especially Mr. Jise, since you worked under Mr. Goh Chok Tong. What can we do as citizens to actually send a message to the government that we don't want them to proceed with this plan?
BGC, want to attempt that?
Well, the ultimate is a vote. Only can get rid of them, get them out of government. I wish the next general election is tomorrow, but we have certain rules, certain timetable to go. Obviously, I don't think many of us can wait till 2016. To ask them to change before 2016, I mean, it's not possible under the parliamentary rules.
I can't.
Thanks, GC. Anyone from the panel want to answer? Yeah, Leong, after that we go back to them.
I try to give a statistical answer to both the lady and the young man. Statistically, it's very hard to lose because you can change the boundaries at will. You know who's voting what and where, so statistically it's very hard to lose. Secondly, as GC has mentioned, they bring in 25,000 new citizens a year. I think GC said 125,000 in 5 years or something. Then statistically, you accept the notion, the argument that new citizens will typically vote for the incumbent. Then statistically, it's also very hard to lose. But the young man's question is probably the most important one that I think nobody here knows. Maybe I should let the cat out of the bag. I just discovered this morning that according to the Department of Statistics Population Trends 2012 report, the Singapore citizen population last year only increased by 28,000. So the entire citizen population went up by 28,000, and if you brought in 20 or 25 new citizens, don't look right, you know. What happened to the rest of the Singaporeans? Either they are dying a lot, you know, or they are leaving the country. You know, the numbers don't make sense. But coming back to your question, if you have 25,000 new citizens and the entire citizen population only increased by 28,000, statistically, it's very hard for GC to win. I hate to say that.
Jonathan, thanks, Chi Hian.
It's going to be difficult because civil society has been destroyed and crippled because of the 1987 Marxist conspiracy, and the kind of control that the government has over us. I mean, if I just quote the recent example, which I also mentioned in my speech, look at Lee Zam. Just because he attended and he was espousing views which the government didn't like, and then and his exco was pressured by the minister through funding cuts. So when the government is so oppressive like that, how can civil society, who are really the voice of the people, because these are organizations and groups that work with the people, how can they actually disagree, voice out what they want to say when there are so much threats coming from the powers that be? So this really is a huge systemic issue. True, the next elections we probably might not be able to get there, but it's a long process. Civil society has to be empowered, otherwise we will not be able to be the voice and live up to the voice that we are supposed to be.
Maybe I will just answer Sean a bit quick answer, but why is it that the government has so much confidence that they will do this regardless? They know that they are so sure that they will still be in power, right? I think CN has told you the statistics. They can draw boundaries anytime, we draw boundaries anytime, but the additional tool now they have is new citizens. So even across, you know, if you look at it on a national basis, 12%, it's difficult to achieve a swing of more than 10% in any election. But it is not impossible. So if more people come out and you have achieved a swing of 13% like in Punggol East, then obviously, if there is a 13% swing across every constituency in Singapore, in 2016, the PAP would fall. That was the analysis done by Alex Au in his blog. So the opposition will have more than 43 seats. Can we achieve a 30% swing like in Punggol East? We hope so, and we want to work towards that, because you need that kind of swing before you have any change of government. And obviously the government thinks that they have control over the media too. They do have a control over media. But I think we need to be active on the social media, expand the social media space, and get more and more people. Like in Malaysia, they have raised the penetration rate to 60% of the voters, which is a fantastic thing. In Singapore, I don't know how much, maybe 20-30%, but hopefully over the next few years we can achieve 50-60% penetration. Then we are there. I think we must expand the social media field and must spread the message, because and also try to cultivate the new citizens too. Don't give up hope on them. Try to persuade them to our side, because ultimately they may vote this time round, but 5 years down the road they will suffer like the rest of Singaporeans. So, and we hope they change, because the way, well, I think it will come, but we want to make it a bigger swing, and we want more people to come out.